I was extremely interested in the outcome of the California primary. Bobby Kennedy had gotten in late. He had said January, February, there's no way I'm going to become a candidate. And Bobby got in mid-March, and 2 weeks later, Johnson dropped out. So it was, it was a very interesting year politically. The California primary, everything was different about the primaries in those days. California was late, and it was really the determinative primary. If he won the California primary, he was going to be the leading Democratic contender at the Democratic Convention in Chicago. And so I was in my hotel room watching the returns, and it seemed clear that Kennedy was going to win the California primary. So what I did was go to the Tiffany Theater for the second show. The committee did a thing called Harold, or the Harold. And both in San Francisco and LA, the back of the set is just doors like this all the way around. And on top of this framework, they put 2 television sets, one over there and one over there. The TV sets were not on except for this one bit.
And we'd let the news run behind us without sound. And we were, I don't even remember what the scene was or what we were doing. We were all out there. Maybe it was a Herald.
And so the performers are on stage, and the sets were used in a couple of different ways. The actors are not always relating to what's on the television. Sometimes they are. And the audience is seeing the TV sets as well as the actors.
It was the idea that real world is so completely absurd that there's nothing we can do to come it close to what is on the news every night. So we are going to use that as the jumping off place, that this world has already gone mad.
One of them interrupted the program, and lettering came up that said, "A special bulletin from CBS News."
But all of a sudden, everybody on stage heard the audience go, like this. And we turned to look at the screen, and it was the news that Bobby Kennedy had just been shot.
And meanwhile, the other television is still showing the regular program. But before long, that television interrupts. And at this point, somebody, one of the actors, somebody of the committee, turned the sound on one of the sets. And action on the stage came to a halt.
It was incredible. The whole show, of course, stopped. And we all just sat down and watched, and the audience watched.
It's hard to, unless you live through it, it's really hard to comprehend how fraught '68 was. I mean, looking back on it, we do not want to, I'd like to go back in a time machine and do lots of things in the '60s again, but not relive 1968.